Okay, are we ready? Let's do it. So welcome to our in-person audience and to our, I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Sorry,
yes.
tech check, just making sure where it's going, so hold on. Okay, go.
Well, now I don't feel like it. Welcome to the launch of Ryan Tracy's Tender Bottoms. My name is Greg Newton. I am the co-founder with my partner, Donnie Jokum, the man who interrupted me earlier. And we are the co-founders of the Bureau of General Services Queer Division, which is the space you find yourself in right now. The Bureau is a government agency for a government that does not yet exist, which is a way of saying that we are a utopian project. We long for a very different world than the world we currently inhabit. And I hope you do too. So we are also an all-volunteer organization, and we have a suggested donation of $10. And if you're able to give something, great. If money is tight and you would like to buy books, you should hold on to your money and buy books. But if you do have some extra cash you can throw in here, we greatly appreciate it. So I'll pass that around. We are open Wednesdays through Sundays from 1 to 7, and then we do lots of events like this in the evenings, and we've got a very full calendar for the upcoming couple of months. And if you'd like to be on our email list, you can sign up for that at the register, and you'll get an email every other Monday about those events. And I think that's it for housekeeping, so I'm going to introduce Ryan, and we're going to jump right in. So, Ryan Tracy's poetry and fiction have appeared in Pank, Pushcart nomination for fiction, the Hyacinth Review, Chronogram, The New Engagement, K.G.B, and the Gay and Lesbian Review, among others. Essays and criticism have appeared in the American Reader, the New York Press, and the Brooklyn Rail. Ryan teaches world literature at Baruch College and is a PhD candidate in English at the CUNY Graduate Center. Please give him a warm welcome.
Hi, before we begin, let's say hello to our 3 people live streaming. Oh, thank you for being here. Hi. I told him not to tell me because I will just play to every audience that's possible. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here for the New York City launch of Tender Bottoms. Yes, snaps or claps or whatever. It's amazing to see so many faces from the present and the past. And I'm just super happy that you're all here. We launched Tender Bottoms in upstate New York last Friday, but it was really important to me to do a launch in New York City. I moved here in 2000, the year 2000, because I think like a lot of people, New York seemed like the city that I had to live in at some point in my life. And I lived here for 20 years until the pandemic forced me, and probably a lot of other people. I really want to make this mic higher, so but I also don't want to pause. I think I remember.
This one, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Checking out my side profile. Okay. But so I lived in New York for 20 years, and so it just was really important for me to do a launch here in New York City. And I couldn't think of a more emotionally connective place to launch Tender Bottoms in the city than the Gay and Lesbian Center. So thank you, Greg and Donnie and the Bureau of General Services Queer Division for letting us do this here. So. This is also being billed as a launch party, and along those lines, I have enlisted a few people to help, spruce up the evening, or add to the evening with their words and their poetry. So I wanted to thank Chris Campanioni for helping put this party together, and I will introduce Chris very shortly, as well as our 2 other readers, Carrero Lopez and Nathaniel Rosenthalis. So thank you all for being here. And thank you all for being here. And let's get this started. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce a friend of mine a colleague, an extraordinarily talented writer, scholar, and teacher, among many other talents. Let me see. Oh, I didn't. Oh, you texted me your bio, right? Okay, we're just going for multiple media. It's really terrifying. Okay. Chris Campanioni is the recipient of the Academy of American Poets College Prize, the International Latino Book Award, and Pushcart Prize. The film adaptation of his poem, "This Body is Long and I'm Still Loading," end quote, was in the official selection of the Canadian International Film Festival, and his multimedia work has been exhibited at the New York Academy of Art and staged at the And Now Festival of Innovative Writing. Please welcome Chris Campanioni.
We're going to try to make as much eye contact as possible with our virtual friends as well. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful to be here and to be celebrating Ryan's work alongside so many other amazing writers. Coincidentally, Ryan and I read together like not 3 days ago in the Hudson Valley. So I feel like this is a recurring traveling show. I'm just going to read a few pieces here. Actually, also the word piece sometimes unnerves me. It's like to describe a poem. I'm gonna read 3 poems.
Oh, I like piece.
All right, well, keep it with piece. I'm gonna go 3 pieces. It's a little vulgar. The first is
You're
called
in a safe space. I'm sorry.
"My Boredom for Desires, a Sentence Size." Tonight's favorite sequence. Her strap-on convinced me I had arrived at the right party. But where was the host? I once estimated in another book, 70% of what I write naked. Just now, I'd like to update that figure towards somewhere pushing 90. Just now, I was asking the air how it knows when to end. I'm talking about where to break the lines, the way a sentence sighs, etc., etc. Everything I hear, I write down, and everything I write down, I hear twice. Ethereal value of repetition. Fantasies about scanning my own ass to see how much such an ass fetches out in the open market. I blame my boredom for desires of unadulterated display. It was like this as a child too, often allowing my spirit of curiosity to reign over the body. I only want to make known my worth. In this way, I can know me for myself. I blame a half-held career in fashion and its ritual measurements, the way I so often was asked to stand before a mirror, seeing all the angles except the one that interests me most. At the market in Otranto, I blindly ate everything I caught in my camera eye, eating all only so that I could learn what a thing was after it'd been depleted and absorbed, as if all knowledge requires first its annihilation, not a paradox, but axiom, more at agent, as in transport. How on my flight from Marseille to Rome a day ago, I marveled at my mouth's ability to fit a whole half orange in its practiced touch, a greedy mouth, a mouth made for giving. Nothing better than putting my head in a lap and having my head buffed by unseen hands. The trick to writing so much and so often is post-dating all. The way I began this on the flight, and so the flight herein becomes both present and already past, to say nothing of the future flirted in the dream of Otranto awaiting us somewhere below. And now I mean the page, the way the words descend or drift into thoughtlessness, the goal, again, to lose control and hold up each swerve and veer in place of lacquered consciousness. The goal is not arrival. Tonight's second favorite sequence. Oh, the power of a hand-driven line of prose to tell me where I haven't been. This is called Who's the Boss? Lulling touch of familiarity if I place my hips here, an accident of shadow where you enter the frame. I feel some kind of way about it, you mouth, and I want to fill your mouth with confectioner's sugar, I asked servers to omit on hotcakes. Such embarrassment of seeing the text behind emoji instead of unalloyed emoji. Such embarrassment of seeing your space heater in my daydream. I was the curtains we just glided past in the club that gluts our crotches in advance. Who's the boss? Not a question or come on, but the set we've each wandered upon. Cameramen thrusting lenses in our non-specific vicinity. Dream we are each ablaze in outer space. Get it? Inertia of my late Tuesday morning. In the middle of my life, I came to myself within a stretch of subway ads. Hiss of a train's brake to remind me I've just missed out. I am missing out, but for Twitter to tell me, you are all caught up. I am catching another train. I am copying a feel in my daydream downtown F hallucination in which we inch closer and take turns. On Duolingo, German becomes French, becomes clandestine juices held on the tongue. A woman wants me to know the world is full of paper. Could this account, I wonder, for the upswing of bad poems in the world? Not recent, but rather timeless dilemma. The same woman wants me to tell her the secret of my tan. My secret is the color of my skin. I want to say the color of all the poems in the world before they were poems and all the poems to be had or mishandled. Notion of the sweaty carpet, riddle of the Sphinx in a children's picture book, riddle of your crown on my head, trauma of my coronation as alternate title. Your palm against the cool metallic arm with which we will flush this down and watch each couplet swirl as deleted scene. No inertia without gravity, no gravity without your socks in my drawer. Intensity of every eye contact when it's unintended and what it might ever entail. Satisfactions of the brand new Brita, my mustache in a public place. Malfunction of these bean buns, vacations that mean something, vacations and eye contact and dim sum and Dante and space heaters and flush as the electric feeling in my cheeks before we squirt. I want to be the cheek and the tissue and the tear. Theorem, the sun sets in the east, but where is my face when you are kneeling? Where is your face when I am being fed? Thanks. I'm just gonna read one more. Like the longest pause between poems. I'm gonna read one quick poem, or what I call a caption, from The Internet is For Real. And this caption is called, "This photo of Joe Biden staring out a window will haunt the internet forever." 766 comments. This proud flesh in such an ugly life, to be beauty. Oh, to love oneself as one would love the other avatar on your screen. You isn't even real. You isn't even really listening. You is a little less of yourself when you is with me, when you is me or you in me, my beauty and unadorned blush, such glistening sweat. I get nervous, I get spastic. It wasn't framed this way in the previews. It wasn't as advertised. Never, not really. Here I am in my new shape and skin, plastic like opening a big box. When I walk, I can feel you moving around. Greatest sound there ever is, greatest scene there ever is in rolling film and playing it back. Only moments away from real-time retrieval to be later called live. You're too much, too much, too much, always too much and not enough. Never do I think to say, I'm sorry. Orange crush of an orange slice in my mouth, a squirt of juice on my lips, on my chin, on the collar of my neck, and yours. The answer could be a room with you in it, still breathing, palm trees, holding hands or clapping. And I say press your index in and sigh deeply, keep scrolling. Creeped out by other Americans, their viscid translucent sheen, the way they keep watching the news, expecting news on the radio, on the air, in the air, the smell of fresh right out from the package. Who made the little lamb, or the face I see if I draw the curtain closed and then brush my hand through to take a glance? I wonder if you're thinking the same, like the same voice woven through different frequencies. Static can be a sound or a feeling, apathetic squirt or jolt, slow tremulous lathering of product, viscera, gel, or cream. What is ours is yours. What is yours, I return to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I'm definitely going to be thinking of notion of the sweaty carpet when I go to bed tonight. So thank you for that. Our next reader is Kyle Carrero Lopez, who was dramatic pause, who was born to Cuban parents in northern New Jersey. He co-founded Legacy, a production collective by and for Black queer artists, and is the author of Muscle Memory, which is an extraordinary book of poems. So I recommend you all please go check that out and get it. The chapbook winner of the 2020 Pank Books Contest. His recent and upcoming publications include The Offing, Prolit, Best New Poets 2021, and Poem a Day. I hope I got all of that right. Kyle, thank you for being here. Come on up.
Hi, congratulations, Ryan. Thank you so much for letting me be part of this. Thank you to everybody for making this happen. Yeah, I'm just going to read a few poems from Muscle Memory. This first one was a request from the man of the hour. RuPaul is fracking. And statues are falling, sapped from their stands by flurried hands to rope. And oh, how they tug like fishers with families to feed, each pull near full-blooded extraction, each pull a deep uproot down a dig to sweet release. To the same rush drillers might hit each time cracked earth spurts lustrous blacks on Rue's ranch. The queen himself slippered, robed, and seated at home nearby, a live marble homage to a once hero's death, smiling, perhaps unclear that he too will fall, and that all who hoist coin over lives shall be someday recalled as they lived. Let's see. Okay, this one is called, actually I'm gonna read this one. Ode to the Crop Top. Oh, sliced crepe, dress code break, half set sun, slut, symbol, cracked window, short story, a whole summer carnival shrunk. How I adore your spunk, your sincere open call for air on my belly hair. The little Target boy groaning ew as I pass isn't worth any ire. He's playing with fire, but his parents lit the torch. To think such small cloth sparks grown brains aflame. Why you in a girl's top? A man yells in DC. I could have cut him 1-2, so we both feel the breeze. Jumping around a little. Okay, this is the first one of the collection. Black erasure. It's a pet peeve. So, erasure. Well, you'll get it. Nina Simone sang, POC is the color of my true love's hair. And they say POC don't crack, and let us bless gumbo, kimbombo, and POC-eyed peas, and POC weddings and broom jumps. And Inez Smith wrote, And even the POC guy's profile reads, sorry, no POC guys. And to flirt, men have asked if I'm POC where it counts. And hey, remember outcry over POC Rue in the Hunger Games? POC Hermione, POC James Bond, POC Spider-Man, and Mary Jane. And when cops kneel on POC necks, the autopsies that come next can lie, can blame underlying conditions, and POC lives matter to the public for about a week at a time. And somehow bulbs of POC joy bloom ceaselessly from dirt terror. And there's at least 26 new ways of looking at a black bird by now with all this high tech. So chew on that, Wally Stevens. And did you know the lab-made vaunted POC, one of the darkest known substances, absorbs 99.96% of natural light? Ideal burial checklist. Coffin, that color. POC orchids all over. A few berry seeds plopped upon my plot. Some of the Raz variety, most POC, and let there be medleys of essential POC tunes for y'all to throw ass to at the after party. And please change out those POC funeral rags into something fun, something that swans as you sway. And please pour them drinks high, but not so high, you POC out. And pretty please, have fun. Remember that in all my POC ass life, I had a good time. Really, I enjoyed myself. Just gonna read a couple more. Okay. Black capitalist wet dream, after Juliana Huxtable. Jackson and I awakened in bed, drained, ached from endless day of drinking and dancing in sunny Brooklyn. Rhodiola tincture starts the morning before natural cocoa oil wash showers. As we dress, we talk Afropunk, how it used to be free, who can't go, then we go. Lift ride to quick Thai for lunch. Crab meat fried rice, shrimp pad Thai with egg, beans, sprout, scallion, and crusted peanut, chicken dumplings, fresh lychee juice. Bit heavy on the meat, but besties here from Nashville. We clean each plate, walk to day 2 bloated in cute clothes. Yesterday, we stormed the pro-black fest with the all-black lineup in our best black dress, denim shortalls, pink triangles patterned on hand batik cotton, lacy white wedges, 40-inch Beyonce braid, shades to match both fits. Strangers snapped unprompted pics. We sipped frozen pina colada and orange mango and cranberry lime smoothies, ate empanadas de carne y picadillo. Everything we bought black. As we shopped, cousins in Cuba with our same skin checked medicine drawers starved by the embargo. Wax print Hotep hitting the chute to our left, right by Obama tank guy showing off those guns. As we bopped, we passed a white man in the crowd rocking a tee that read Black Excellence. And damn near all of us boogied straight past the rent control tablers. And just one more. Thank you all for listening. If I can find it. Here it is. So my family is Afro-Cuban and practices an Afro-diasporic religion called Santeria, around which there are many misconceptions and misforms about that. From an agnostic. Hostile talk of Santeria bites my ears like frost. Because Afro-Cuba, because the ancestors fought for it, because the enslaved saved what slavers tried to take, because my black, because my blood, because no cruelty should cross me, because the entire goat is consumed, because the entire chicken is consumed, because Azalea's chicken closet is better known, because the sublime song Santeria is better known, because Santeras are my tias, because Santeras pray for me, because Cal and I shook the achere as Abuelo prayed on mom's cancer. because Yamaya's portrait in any home brings me home, because Abuela keeps an altar, because my mother keeps a glass of water out for the saints, because orichas switch genders, because some orichas took lovers of their gender, because I once trusted the narratives, because Hollywood's Africa, because the Catholic Church, because blood must be seen for cruelty to be named, because only some are born clean, because history repeats, because history has mouths we speak through. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you for being here. Our next reader is Nathaniel or Neil Rosenthalis. He is a poet whose work appears in the Harvard Advocate, New American Writing Conjunctions, Denver Quarterly, and elsewhere. He is the author of several chapbooks, including 24-Hour Air, published by Pank Books this year. Is that 2022? That's this year. He is also a singer and actor and recently made his off-Broadway debut. Please tell us more. Everyone, please welcome Neil Rosenthalis.
You actually want me to tell you? Yeah, so hi everybody. Yeah, so I've been doing poetry pretty hardcore for like 15 years, and then over the pandemic, I kind of got back in touch with my musical theater and opera roots that I had as a kid. So yeah, I started auditioning in August, and then had the off-Broadway show was in November, and I just got cast in something yesterday. So I'm trying to transition from one precarious career into another. I really don't like stability. I'm also short, so this is gonna be fun. Thank you for having me. This is it's so nice to read in a room again, and also just to hear so many different kinds of repetitions happening. That's what I was thinking about as I was listening to the two previous readers. So I think I'm gonna steer some of my selections to like be repetition driven. There's a quote from Monica de la Torre who says, "There's a reason for repetition in the oral tradition." So that's what I'm gonna follow for. So I'm gonna read a few poems from my chapbook, and then a few poems from one of my manuscripts. On enmeshment. A mirror on the back of the balcony says, "I don't understand after all. I saw a smoker saying hi among others. Not having his lips, I became an arm movement whose flip side was my tender wrist. It was less more abundity, more that a body was outside of me, dividing. I became that swan on the front pocket of the black bomber jacket. The man turned away in it. If I squinted, it was a swan." On saying hi. I can always address an alarm clock. For some people, it's more nostalgia and less you. I adjust a fold on the bed. Less the baby doll hurled down in her white gown, more the fact that she will always land on some floor, and therefore, I don't look away. Not to say that objects are breathed into existence for the way they rattle, not to say that objects matter, a focal point to all hypnosis. The teacup set is tiny. The Hello Kitty lunchbox is bed-sided, B-sided. I say that you and I are not in this only, and enmeshment is when. On permission. Having had no one lately die on me, looks like this oversized pond. Lily pads that some scores of fish go in and out of under a transparency, as if they always dreamed of doing this weaving. Well, I don't know that they don't. No day is like today. The air is whipping, but nor is any day a doorway to lean out from forever. I'm not complaining. A helicopter view says I should be a beam of sunlight with which to see, the better to scatter in eventually among these fish. I do already. Inner shade of black ink in each. Directly so, says a lily pad whose arm, it is an arm, I thought was a purple eel. It is only reaching toward me, a motion I mistook for life, for what else I could do that to. On a motion mistakable for life. A newspaper blows across the hardwood floor, making me want to be held. I write in my notebook, behold, it's my studio. One cardboard box inside another, no permission needed. I look at the blue dress on the back of my chair. It's wild. Or am I not allowed to look at a dress from over it? That makes the dress an ease. My tone isn't. I don't miss anyone. A flapping through me must come from a real place and toward. And I'll read 2 more poems. Of his mistress upon occasion of her walking in a garden is the title of a sonnet by one Henry Constable, who is the lover, the man Shakespeare is in love with in his sonnets. This would be a good title to repurpose for my poem if I wanted to be the long lost lover who did exist, whom people deny as such did, do, will. This would not be a good title to repurpose if I worried for a long gone past that didn't even cross its own real hairs. I wouldn't catch, not being of scruffy beard, readiness to pose for a portrait, capturing the likeness and now hands and hangs in room 321 in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, New York. This would be a good title to repurpose if I were bent on paying attention to a problem that pokes me in the face when I sniff it, namely, those are lilies. This would not be a good title to repurpose. This would not be a title. This would not be a good to a purpose for my poem, Quote, Constable's modern editor, Joan Grundy, says she has searched all British and continental poems and can find no other instance of a violet acquiring its color by being soaked in blood, unquote. Elaine Scarry, page 63. This makes me wonder to history for examples of what it might, after all, be like. If this title would be good, re the purpose of seeing a poem depend on us who, historically naive or not, have never been in love. A visit to Hades. Included a yelping, groveling type, taking up his ass a frozen white shape. I made him. I, the bearish man, didn't tell him how to contemplate id, make him ecstatic. I told him lick, he did, could for 1-2 hits. The drip congealed. A little edge was there to put his foot on. Testing, the drop-off zone. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil, for that. And thank you for pointing our attention to repetition. That Tender Bottoms is absolutely under the influence of the queen of repetition, Gertrude Stein. I think, Stein taught us or can teach us how to love repetition, really love it, and also to love objects and sort of the daily matter of our lives, and particularly domestic life. So Tender Bottoms is a reference to tender buttons. I'm sure you all know that, but anyway, I'm just gonna read from Tender Bottoms and stop rambling. But thank you all for being, what? Keep rambling? Okay, sure. I'm just gonna jump into it. This is called Blue Invincibility. Standing in line at the pharmacy, singing Gloria, daily dose of the real, trendy pills. Harm reduction dreams of no harm, no foul. I take these for both of us. Up at the house, it's called a soup de neuf. Have faith, everybody wins. A purple annulated case in white ladybugs and braille. 7 slots for 7 lovers. We have been prematurely old for a long time now, but you really won't remember what it was like to be a boy. Insomnia till sunrise because you thought you had AIDS. Listening to Amy Grant, praying to be saved. But sexual panics pass, forced blooms take care. The pharmacon is calling, second wind, second act, second coming, calling Gloria. I'm also a fan of applause after. You don't have to, but I'm a fan. To our audience at home, you know, I feel like I was blocking my face, so let me give you some of that. So I kind of feel like this is like a breakaway hit of this collection. It's called Run the Dishwasher at Night. It's a pretty literal poem about when you should run your dishwasher. I have also turned this into another breakaway hit, but a house dance remix of my friend Todd Shalom reading this poem. You can download it for free on my SoundCloud account, so talk to me afterwards. And we might hear it immediately following this reading. So, but here we go, Run the Dishwasher at Night. Run the dishwasher at night so that it hums. Run the dishwasher at night so that it runs, and so the dishwasher runs at night, so it hums. I love this dishwasher. I fight for this dishwasher. I struggle for it. I fill it and I empty it. I buy it soap. I run it at night. Swish and soap and swish and swishy soap and swish and sudsy soap and soapy suds and swishy swirl, oh girl, and whirly whirly girl, and whirl and soap and swish and soap and swish and soap and soap and soap and suds and suds and so and suds and so and soap and suds and so asleep and so and soap and pause. I need these dishes and these washes and this water. It is a question of comfort and being lulled. I buy it soap and run it at night. It hums, whirs, runs, comforts, cleans. It comforts and cleans and lulls. It puts the world together while we sleep. Kitchens are where grievances murmur between glances at a recipe for peach and blackberry pie. You tell me not one pie, two, that phyllo dough is not pie crust. Friendship, these two plums are rotten, don't say rancid, measured in crumbs and last night's lines of Coke. Tea bag. It's completely innocent titles. Tea bag. Tea bag. Now, it might be more literally tea bag. Flirting with the rim of a plate. Prune skin or chewed tobacco dressed in a tinted wet silk shirt. Used, cold, smug clump of shredded leaf. Ready or not, another dip in the mug's finely incurved lips. Concentric spill, watercolor rings around the saucer, like the bottom half of a lowercase a, blown out in cream china. So this collection of poems is dedicated to my partner, Mark Dunbrack. There your name goes out into the internet and to the universe. I will talk about this more, but this poem is dedicated to him. That's everything is but this one. Okay. Actually, this one's about us. Okay. Dermatitis. If we died, and they broke into our apartment and entered our bedroom, they would find 7 different kinds of lotion. And they would think of our skin and how dry we were. That's it. That's it. Yeah, this one's really dedicated to Mark. Long distance. You must be smoking under wisteria plants, blowing fragrant cradles over the arbor edge. You keep the secret of the Northeast in your cigarette and those imposter pictures of the dead. Vacancy calls collect, your voice a summer resort, like the one from Dirty Dancing. Fidelity between bells of wisteria and the drone of an angry air conditioner in Queens. Substitute children, we will never witness the graduation of the trees we planted. You have a recipe in your hand for talking out the jealousies. Ice clinks and cherries, Manhattan, sweet bitters. I get a little emotional sometimes when I read it as well. So, unfortunately, you just have to deal with it. Hi, welcome, welcome, come on in. Hi, hi. Masked people. Okay. This one goes out. Bye, Honor. Thank you for coming. This one is going out to Raphael. Reading Nella Larson. I saw you in the restaurant, in the library, in the hospital, sitting back with your typewriter, knowing all the bullshit that people serve, and writing down your infamy. A burden worth walking away from when it stopped being fun. When the flirtation with notoriety drew more than Narcissi on a summer dress in Chicago. When people had forgotten how to read and everything just fell. How are we doing on time? Are we good? We're good? Okay. Any tennis fans in the audience right now? Yeah, this is the poem for you. All right. Precedent set. Madison Keys smiles like every girl I ever went to high school with. Not every girl, just the rich girls who lived in big houses and drove white VW convertible rabbits and had kind and intelligent dads with arm hair who made lots of money, and moms who made sure everything was right and volunteered at school. I probably had a crush on you and was jealous of you at the same time. I know who your boyfriend was. I can see all the love, all the security and support and self-esteem in those buck teeth, those beautiful teeth, those white teeth, those untainted teeth. 3 white men talking about identity politics at a bookstore in Saugerties, New York. I'm browsing psychology. High school kids play chess nearby. 3 white men sit in a triangle of lounge chairs in the center of the bookstore. One of them is concerned. One of them is a film studies professor. One of them understands a trans student's complaint, but disagrees with the firing of the professor. Their voices are library low, the talk deliberate. There is sympathy and frustration and tension. They are at no point not taking this seriously. They have read Zadie Smith. One of them wonders, what's a trigger warning? This scene has never felt more fragile or necessary, as though one had wandered into a nursery and found a child spellbound by a puzzle, absorbed by the horizon of solving it. One word could break the whole thing. A diligent clerk passes them, returning books to women's studies. The disinterested high school kids are laughing. I'm monitoring the situation from philosophy. True story. A few more? What's the deal? Yeah, a few more? Okay. This one, so there's a sort of theme of pet names that runs through the book. I don't know about you, but I feel like pet names, like you usually like, you and your partner call each other the same name. Does anyone experience that? Like you don't have different pet names, where you have one pet name and you're both that name. So this is a poem about our pet name, which is Cupid. Hopefully you'll understand after I read it, or maybe not. Q and P. Q and P are the initials of a pedophile serial killer in a Joyce Carol Oates novel. As far as pet names go, we picked a winner, naming ourselves after the uncanny eponym, a doll with arms wide open, dilated eyes, a kind of deranged hospitality, marked with a question mark swirl at the pinnacle of the forehead. Mass-produced plastic affection. Pet names lend themselves to lovers, automatic reflex, whether you're there or not. P is for psychosis, love suicide pact, life partner, peas in a pod, phallic impropriety, pleasure domes and pleasure quarters, and pillows, preparations for end-of-life care. Q is for occasional discontent for quilts, pincushion kisses, quest for fire crotch, the beautiful quim, membranous memory of an orifice, cold plastic explosives, comfortable queens, fearless, every night, to cuddle up with a sexual predator forever. Yeah, I'm just live. Oh great, so three more poems. I want to give it all away, there gotta be some surprises. This is a list. It's called Night Writing. Late coming, laid another night, another alert. I ate some other butter under jelly on a corn cracker. Fire acre. It better get its. The gift gets better. Lucky chatter. Bear batter. Black boxer shorts shirts. Late reading is not really writing. A birthday ladder blows out a nephew. All this all in one night. Give me something to be read in. Faceless pop. A lint in a linked account. Frosted chain. Fortunes in search of a fridge. None for all. Messy bottom for nonchalance. These seeds are in me. Water closet. We need to talk about looking for. A writing before bed. Please respond. Remote control books. Unanswered and blocked. Cold comfort. In the land of gods and monsters, we listen to Lana chant. Just felt the earth shake a little, I mentioned that. In the land of gods and monsters. I'm like holding on to this for dear life. We listen to Lana channel all the Queen's men, singing Alleluia and slurring all the S's, obliterating the B's with bilabial lassitude. I called it honey, the great Lana slowdown, pop music's impossible sap. We learned to murder the inner critics, cut bad drag from the homemade patterns, blasted the music and drank gin. Dancing in the kitchen with passive ears to hear the sermons of Latter-day Saints over dinner. Sin, but sin boldly. Yes, because. A little time for ourselves is all this was. I'm gonna give you one more poem. I will try not to break down into tears just in time for the last poem. Yes, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. And then after this, we will have revelry and signings and all of that stuff. So thank you all for being here. Again, thank you, Greg and Donnie, for letting us be here tonight. I hope you have enjoyed this, what I think is a very beautiful evening of some excellent poetry. Not mine, but you know, yes, all of it anyway. Someone cut off the mic, it's terrible. One more poem for you. This is called This Bareback is for All of Us. This bareback is for all of us. Rubbing against the grain of infection is less painful. Flat palms on new felt. All I ever wanted was to preserve you in this slip and slide. Be still. I draw the illusion from you like poison from a wounded ego. The contact feels important, or if not important, generous. Everybody circles around the potluck, taking turns at the casserole. I don't know why we're lucky enough to have this chance. It's the same system, only now it has decided that we can live. Somebody spread the word about all this barebacking in America. Tell them that we're working together again. At last, the old gay power. Thank you. Thank you all. Drinks and signing, and maybe we'll, when the dishwasher 1 hour before we make them.